What up? Welcome to Emergent Behavior. I'm your host, Will. I sleep a lot. Washburn. That's me. Fun story. I have a non-garbage collected memory leaking node process that is causing my computer to be a little slow. So I'm unable to change this background. And I can't restart because I have too many agents running that are mid-flight and I don't want to lose that time. So
I'm also your host, and last night was the first time I shut off my computer for the whole week
why? Why would you
because
do
I'm
that?
usually running agents overnight.
I know, but why would you turn it off?
I always turn off just to get a reset.
I was just kidding with you.
So yeah, that's the current status.
It's two dudes agenting it up, agentizing agents.
Agentitis.
Agentical agents, agicizing agents.
So we have some demos, don't we?
It's a demo. This. So the OG purpose of this highly watched podcast screencast was to demo our stuff, and we always end up talking about stuff.
Right. We haven't shown much.
We're just talking. We're just chatting.
Although, to be fair, the other week I demoed like 3 things.
Whatever, dude. You're hitting the. Lean into the joke. Okay. Anyways,
kick it
I'll
off.
go first, even though.
Come see some personas. Yeah.
Let's look at the new. I'm gonna Quentin Tarantino this. Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, you're ready. Let me just take this out. Pro tip for demos to have everything ready. Right, let's look at this. Let's bring this to the main stage. Boom. Look at that.
Oh.
So this is the new agent relay. And let's go full on this, right? Okay, cool. I guess that's not what did it, what
What? I still see it.
I know, I wanted it bigger, but I bet I can. Well, anyways, so this is actually, I haven't reviewed this at all yet. This is just the persona that I made specifically for our catalog site. So for those of you who aren't Click, all 0 of you, but maybe time travelers from the future, a persona is a set of like model plus harness, skills, MCP servers, a prompt, the file mount, so choosing which files that have read access, choosing which files have write access, choosing which files just don't exist, period. A custom-made agents MD or Claude file, all of that together is a persona. And so in the agent workforce, we created a persona maker persona that then helps you create a persona. And so what I did is I went into our agent relay, or you can see this already, actually, it's in agent relay, our open source repo, and I spun up agent workforce persona maker, and I said, hey, I want to update our website. It's a Next.js website, uses Tailwind CSS. Here are the intents and constraints for what I'm looking for. And the persona maker went and installed some skills. It looked up from PRPM a bunch of skills that are relevant to Next.js, SEO, front-end skills, everything people have been building for a long time just around like how to do web stuff well. Added those skills in, added the instructions specifically for our infrastructure, for SST, Next.js, and then a little bit of detail about like what the agent relay ICP is, goals, put that in CloudMD. And again, why that's really useful, because it's a CloudMD just for this persona, just for working on this site, while it's in a repo of many other concerns. And then basically I spun it up and I was like, hey, here's what I'm thinking for the narrative of the site. and I let it churn for a couple of minutes. And this is what it came up with. So I don't know. Let's review it together. You have any questions?
Yes.
Yeah. Anyways, it looks. I kind of like. I like the direction we're going. So surfacing more as.
There's animation. Okay.
What did you say? Animation's not going.
I'm super delayed. I was asking about the animation, but I see it here.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Animation is going to be here forever. And I think, this is like super not put together, but like what is going on here? Very vibed. A lot of things to fix. And observability should go at the end, but there's like a longer story here about what agent relay is. And I think what we were talking about is agent relay is more the collection of SDKs, not just the messaging. And so like reframing that I think is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, word.
Yep, that's good.
Yeah, I don't hate it so far. I mean, I do hate it. There's a lot of stuff I want to do to fix it, but anyways. All right, and then let's look at the persona maker. You got any? What else could we use a persona? What do we need a persona for? It's a good example.
I want a persona. I wanted a persona. Well, I mean, you could do post-hog persona.
I missed what you said. A post-hog persona? I think we already have that, but yeah, I can talk about that.
Because I noticed like Codex added a bunch of apps, and I wanted like a Slack persona. It just has access to our Slack, so we can read that and then do stuff off of that. But then it's like everywhere in all my Codex sessions. I don't want it everywhere. I just want it in a single focus session.
Yeah, so that actually was the genesis of personas, at least for me, was post-hog. So using post-hog to set up the MCP because I want to be able to pull in, hey, what's our weekly active users this week? And unfortunately, it meant that the OAuth screen for post-hog happened all the time. So it's pretty annoying. But anyways, so you can just call npms agent workforce create. And so what this is going to do is this is going to open the only core persona, which is the persona maker. Now, I have like 3 PRs in progress where it's not this slow because right now the file mount is doing things synchronously one at a time. Wasn't that bad, but this is going to put us into the persona making persona. So like if we look at skills, interesting. I didn't realize it had this many skills. These are probably the core.
Is that? Yeah, those are the core Codex ones, right?
Anyways, it should have had just find skills, so maybe that's a bug. Demo gods not kind to me today. But anyways, it has like find skills, and then if I were to say Vim agents, not Vim, what are you doing? Does that not work? Okay. So this is in the relay repo, but the actual agents.md file is one that's been overwritten. So with personas, you have the option to either overwrite or extend the agents.md. And this one is basically just has a bunch of like how you build a persona, what the goals aren't. And, like I've gone through this maybe 4 or 5 times with basically how you're supposed to build a persona. And so then I might say, I'd like to make a new persona. What do I want a persona for? Why is this still talking? Stop.
It's explaining and it's empty, isn't it?
I know, I don't want to see that. I screwed up. For reviewing TypeScript. Let's make it not TypeScript because everything Rust rates performance and
any particular reason why it's GPT 5.3 codex?
There was honestly, I'm still testing this. So that's actually a great segue, Khalid. When this session is over and we get out of the harness, there is a process that happens that reads the conversation that you had, and there's a single shot persona geared towards pulling out lessons learned. So sometimes, like when I was building the Next.js persona, it was like, oh, like look for these skills, not that one, et cetera, et cetera. Things I did wrong in the original prompt are learnings. And so there's a process that happens afterwards, hopefully, if it's not broken, that will say, hey, here are the things that we found that were lesson learned to improve this prompt, improve this persona. Do you want to add them? And it'll walk you through each change and then update the persona. So every time I use this persona to build something, it's actually storing the learnings and storing some memory of what worked and what didn't. And so I view using these harnesses locally like this sort of as debugging the personas themselves. And then, of course, using Agent Relay to deploy those personas later in production using the Agent Relay SDK is when you really harden those down. So, and then maybe
those learnings
can be self-learning, but I think that's maybe a little bit further away. But I think what's really cool here is like as this persona is built, we optionally can go in and learn from how the conversation went building it and take away learnings for the next time we do it. And then when you run this persona, you get those learnings back.
And where do the learnings go? Like, where are they stored somewhere?
So every persona cascades. You can get packages of our like core personas that we've built that are really kind of generalized. I think a lot of people are doing this where it's like, and it's kind of similar to installing a skill with opinions. But I think really where the bread and butter is you're in your repo that you share with your team. There's the agent workforce personas directory locally. It's like .agent workforce personas. And that's really, it's following like the ShadCN model where it's a JSON file and it's copied in, and then you control it from there. So in version control, you're just updating the prompt. And I can maybe show this.
Where I don't see it in Relay. Should it be there? Or I thought you had that.
Yeah, it should be in Relay, unless it's not pushed up in main.
Yeah, I don't see it in main.
Should be .agent workforce / well, I should do that now if it's not already there. Yeah, speed is an issue with this. We're going to cancel it because you get the idea. But yeah, it's basically just a JSON file that you, so if we look at, actually, yeah, so it's a JSON file that has, this doesn't have all of it, so let me actually do what I was going to do before. All right, there we go. So if you look at this, it has a name. It has a bunch of tags for searching later. It has a description that we use. There's actually an ability to search for different personas once you get to that level, but then it has the list of skills, SEO audit, product analytics, front-end design. It has its agents MD and the content of it. This can either be a file that you point to, or it can actually be the content. Since the LLM is writing it, I don't really care that it's in JSON, but if you're handwriting it, you may want it in an actual MD file, and then you can just do the path to it. And then there's this concept of tiers, which is, ideally they all have the same quality bar, but it's more about breadth or depth. So like minimum cost, best value. And so it can be different models and harnesses. These are all codecs and open code. Particular reasons why we did this, we haven't worked through it enough, except like guessing which one is best yet. So, all right, I'm taking up a lot of time, so I'm going to stop here. Well, actually, one more thing is Burn.
In Rust?
Burn is officially in Rust.
Nice.
Let's install the latest because I think I just launched something, hopefully. Let's see what the version is. Yeah, that's the new one. All right, so Burn is our token management. And so if I look at Burn sessions, I've literally never done this. List. Holy cow. Okay, but we can see some of the ones we just did. I gotta work on that naming here, the table. Yeah, gotta clean up this table, but it'll give you, so this is like a big one. Oh, so this was when I was making changes to the website. I spent $17 on that design. So this gives us the session. And how do I get the whole ID here? That doesn't work. The trailing ID is help.
The truncation is.
Can I just do Burn summary session? Yeah, of course not. It's not the ID. Well, if we could do that, I could show you summary of the session and where we spent money. That's annoying. Well, let's try something less entertaining. Look at the hotspots for me in the last 24 hours. So what this gives us is all of our token count so I'm on a plan, monthly plan. So I'm not actually paying these rates, but if I were not, in the last 24 hours, I would have spent $451, which is half of, or all of, $51 more than what I spend on the monthly subscriptions. And so part of what we do, these are called hotspots, burn hotspots. Where are you burning most of your tokens? Normally what I do is I will take these results, and I think I'm actually going to make a persona for this, but I put them into an LLM and I'm like, hey, what's interesting about this? Like, where can I cut my costs? And there's usually some things that are really interesting. So like one of them is, are these bash verbs. So like $2.60 was just spent on writing files, finding files. I spent a ton on the GitHub API. This can be useful for a different tool we have that's not yet finished called Wash, which in real time can then replace these out by, for instance, in Claude, like disallowing these verbs, and then running our own more token efficient process to return them. That's more of a preview, but where that's coming from is this data. This is much more interesting when it's in comparison and per session, but I don't yet have that. And then the other thing I can do is a summary. I forget the actual term. Yeah, by, which one is it? Let's try by tool. Gotta get rid of this warning because it's not helpful. Also don't know why this is so slow. Should be just querying a SQLite database, but apparently doing something else.
You got too much running.
It's too many tokens being used. Okay, so this is of my, in the last 24 hour, 2,000 turns, you know, $106 were spent on the exec commands, which is a little ambiguous because there's so much underneath that. But yeah. Maybe more interestingly is the read write of $50, or sorry, read edit of $50. Not a lot on work trees, which is good, but it can show you, you know, tool usage that you're using. And again, comes back to wash, like, can we turn this, you know, $24 of read into $2? And then you do that, you know, this is the last 24 hours. So if you save 10x per day on reads by being more targeted, like that's 10x savings for what you're spending. And I think the big token squeeze is coming. So this is just, may not feel super useful right now, but I think it's going to feel really useful really soon. And so having this all integrated into personas, comparing personas, and that's where the question I was trying to answer you in the beginning, which is to say, why is it 5.3? It's a hypothesis that that's going to be more token efficient, but until we get more data around it, which we're starting to collect with this, we're not going to know. And so I think the big thing with personas is if you use them, they get better over time. They record the token usage, and so you can use that as an indicator on how to improve them beyond just like sort of the subjective heuristics of did this do well.
That's cool.
Right on.
Nice.
Now I'm going to try to see if I can fix the token session thing before.
I think we're over time, but it was cool. I like it.
We didn't even get to talk about random stuff today, you know?
It's okay. We got to switch it up.
In-person event. Can I just talk about that for a minute? Can I complain?
What is that?
Yeah. The Anthropic event that we weren't invited to?
Yeah, what, I mean, it looked
I'm
interesting.
definitely not going to their Christmas party. You know? Offensive.
All right, well, I guess until next week.
That's it? You know, you have nothing for, where's the fire?
I mean, this is too long of a session.
Too long of a session. I need some. All right, fair enough. Wait, hold on. No, this is not. We're not done yet.
Oh yeah, there's no music.
Is there no music?
Yeah, I hear it. Yeah.
You hear it? Did you say you could hear it?
I hear it, yeah.
Like I think I said this last week. It's like all right.
Okay.
Embarrassing. There's nobody watching.
I'm signing off.
Well, now that he's gone, so I'm a fan. Really excited about Agent Relay, you know? All come together. I think we struck on this together. We let go of that. We realized, agentic-centered agents. All right, well, I don't know how people do this weird cognitive stuff.